How did just 4 men manage to steal $100 million worth of jewelry from a Paris museum using only a few power tools and a blowtorch? They slipped past high security systems, alarms blaring, while watchmen ignored every warning sign. But the real mystery, the $100 million question, is why the guards froze, even though the thieves weren't armed. And finally, how did the police track them down in just 48 hours? The answers lie ahead. Here's the detailed timeline of how it all unfolded. 9:30 a.m. The arrival. Paris awoke under a calm October sun. The River Seine shimmered against the limestone arches of the Louvre, the city's heartbeat steady, ordinary, peaceful. Then, from the corner of Quai François Mitterrand, a white utility truck rolled to a quiet stop. 4 men stepped out, faces hidden beneath masks, orange safety vests catching the morning light. They looked like construction workers, the kind Parisians passed every day without a second glance. But inside that truck was no toolbox for repair. It carried electric ladders, grinders, and a plan timed down to the very second. The men exchanged short, deliberate nods. No words were needed. The show was about to begin. 9:36 a.m. Inside the Apollo Gallery, the thieves stepped into gold. The Galerie des Apollons shimmered like a cathedral of light, every inch drenched in splendor. Sunlight pierced through the broken window pane, scattering across jeweled crowns and sapphire necklaces, the legacy of Napoleon and Empress Eugénie. A guard sighed, muttering under his breath about yet another false alarm from the week's renovations. He silenced it and realized that mistake minutes later, too late. The thieves moved fast, mechanical, precise. One used the grinder to cut through the glass display. Sparks danced in the air like fireflies. Another pried open the case with a crowbar, revealing treasures worth more than their wildest dreams. The alarm echoed through the halls, a piercing cry that should have frozen them in place. But instead, they kept going, calm, methodical, as if the chaos around them didn't exist. Security cameras caught every second, 4 silhouettes bathed in red light, faces masked, hands steady. They knew exactly how much time they had before the first guard arrived. And they were right. Down the hall, 2 watchmen stood frozen. One whispered, "It's another false alarm, right?" The other hesitated. Neither moved. By the time they did, the thieves were gone. "10:04 a.m. The getaway. The white utility truck slipped through the morning traffic, blending with the rhythm of the city. Behind them, chaos erupted. Alarms screamed across the Louvre's halls as guards scrambled too late. Within minutes, Paris police were alerted. Every bridge, every exit around the Seine was on lockdown. Yet the thieves vanished. No trace, no witnesses, nothing. But silence and the echo of sirens. Detectives combed through footage. 4 men. No fingerprints, no cell phones, not a single clue. It was the perfect heist, almost. Hours later, detectives found something, small but vital. A single glove dropped near the riverbank. Inside, traces of welding residue, the kind used in industrial repair shops. That clue cracked the silence. detectives tracked the glove to a warehouse on the outskirts of Paris. Surveillance drones were deployed, and there they found the white utility truck, parked and cooling. Inside, police discovered tools covered in gold dust, a half-melted blowtorch, and security tags from the museum. 48 hours after the heist that stunned France, all 4 suspects were in custody. None resisted, none spoke a word. As they were led away, one officer asked, "Why risk everything with alarms blaring and guards watching?" The ringleader smiled faintly and said, "Because sometimes the loudest escape is the quietest one." In the end, the heist of the century wasn't about weapons or violence. It was about timing, silence, and nerve. 4 men against an empire of security, and for 48 hours, they won. But as history shows, even the most flawless crimes leave behind echoes, fingerprints not on glass, but in the choices people make. A single glove, a tiny hesitation, a sound too easily ignored. The jewels were recovered, the gallery restored. Yet the question still lingers in the corridors of the Louvre. How close did they come to getting away with it all? Maybe that's the true fascination. Not the theft itself, but the thin line between genius and madness, courage and folly. Because in a city built on art, even crime can feel like a performance. And this